Hi, I'm going to show you today how to change a daytime look into an evening, more ramped up, glamorous look. So for the daytime, I started with something quite simple, knowing that I'm going to later on actually apply some more makeup in order to look more appropriate for an evening do. So I've kept it fairly simple. I've applied base and primer and base together onto my face, so that I know that the base of my makeup will actually last really well, probably until I go to bed tonight, whatever I do. The fact that you've added in primer really makes a difference. I've also added some blusher, quite lightly, and to my eyes, I've just done my eyebrows with brow shape, and I have added eye primer here, which has made a nice smooth surface on my eyelids, and then I've added some mascara. So I've kept my eye makeup really very simple indeed. And on my lips, I've put lip primer, and I've also added some lipstick, which is our soft plum. So I've created a nice finished effect for my face to wear during the day, and now I'm ready to think about what I'm going to do for tonight. I don't probably need to touch my base. That will still look great, but what I will need to do, because I have acne rosacea, I'll just have to check and see if I need to do any further covering up of things like blemishes or spots or whatever. So I can obviously use my concealer to do that, and I can just add in and repair any bits that I feel need a little bit of extra coverage. So I can pat that in there. I've got a wisdom spot, shall we call it, there, and I've still got some sort of blemishy areas between my eyes. So if they've started to show through, come through during the day, then obviously a small dab of concealer onto those parts, just to make sure that they're not showing through, is probably quite a good idea. So that's all I'm going to do for that. Now I'm going to add in some highlighter. This is a really nice thing to put on I wear this during the day most days anyway, but in the evening it's lovely to put on some very soft, subtle highlighter onto the tops of the cheekbone. So I start out here, level with my eye, like that, and I just pat it round like that. You can see how much I'm doing here, and just adding that in here. The effect of this will be to catch the light, and it will actually make my face look a bit more shimmery and prettier. I'm also going to add some of this underneath my eyebrows onto the brow bone, so you can see where I'm putting this. So I'm really doing it around this area here, and it's all about just bringing that area to life and making it look prettier. So pat it in. It's a very, very easy product to apply, Fabulous Light. It's a beautiful texture when you put it into the skin. And it really does a lovely job of adding, as I said, this really delicate shimmery finish. There we go, that's fine. That's sufficiently incorporated into my skin. Now it doesn't make the skin look white, so it's not one of those, you know, I see women with these kind of like white strips here. I think they're heavily into contouring or something, and it just looks odd, I think. So this isn't like that. It's much softer and subtler. I'm also going to adjust my blush. The thing about evening light as opposed to daylight, which I'm in at the moment, is that of course it's a lot softer. It's actually kinder on your face, and of course candlelight is the kindest of all. But remember that your face, your makeup has to work a bit harder from the point of view of having definition and so on and so forth. So I am going to just make sure that I've got enough blusher on without it looking ridiculous. And again, you would be adjusting this perhaps in evening light yourself and just making sure that it's okay. But make sure you've got enough blusher on, because you are going to need enough blusher to make sure that you've got that lovely sort of pinky colour on your face. So I think that's probably enough blusher. I'm also now just going to remove this lipstick, because I'm going to apply a much brighter, more vibrant lipstick when I've finished my eyes. So I'm going to take that off with a little bit of remover and a cotton pad. I'd suggest you remove it properly rather than wiping it off, just wiping it off with a tissue. Because the colour that you then put will be a sort of truer colour. And I am going to add in some lip primer around the edges of my lips, so that later on when I put my lipstick on, it's actually sealed the edges of my lips. And then I'm going to go to town on my eyes. So that's all ready for later when I add my lipstick. And just pat that in. Okay. So I haven't done very much to my eyes, so I can now, I've got a sort of blank, more or less blank canvas. I have added in a bit of definition with mascara. I've got my eyebrows in place, but I can do something to this area to make it look better, bigger and bolder actually. So I'm going to start very simply with a palish eye shadow. Which is soft grey. So that's the colour there. I'm going to do a sort of grey and purpley treatment onto my eyelids. So remember, I've got eye primer on from this morning, which will still be there, and it will still be doing its job of smoothing out the eyelid. So this is a lovely, soft, pretty, as I said, pale grey colour. And I'm doing that over the whole of the eyelid area, like that. And then I'm going to take the Aubergine colour. And I'm going to put some of this just on the outer edges here, like there. So using a brush number 7. Can you see what I'm doing there? So creating a bit more depth and shape to my eyes, but keeping it on that outer edge. And then just coming in and doing it on the eyelid, again at the outer edge. So thinking of the sort of outer third, I think. You can think of it there and here as well. Okay, I think that's fairly even. Let's keep checking. There we go. And I'm going to take a clean brush, or a brush that I use for blending, and just make sure that that is now all thoroughly blended in. So you've got the soft grey blending in the aubergine colour, like that. Here we go, making sure that looks properly blended. Going back to a bigger brush, just sweeping away any particles that you think have come down onto your tops of your cheeks. Okay, and now I'm going to take our lid colour, and I'm going to put a little bit of lid colour into this inner corner here. And I'm going to do that because this just adds a beautiful, just lovely brightness. And of course it works really nicely with the aubergine. I'm only going to put a little bit of this on, but I love the effect of this for an evening look. It's not shiny as such, and certainly when you've worked it into the skin, which you have to do because otherwise it's too sticky. It sort of sits on the outside, the surface of the skin. You do have to work it in. But I'm now going to take a brush and I'm just going to make sure that that is combined into my skin. That's fine. The other side. I think that looks all right. I have to tell you that when when I'm making these videos, excuse me, when I'm making these videos, I can't really see very well because I'm not really using a mirror. I'm using a computer screen. So if that isn't very precise, then obviously in a mirror you can get it much more precisely, especially a magnifying mirror. Now I'm going to add some colour to the lash line. And I could use the aubergine again, but actually because it's an evening look, I'm going to use charcoal. So it's a bit more dramatic, a bit darker. And I'm going to use the lovely little wedge brush that we've got. And I'm just going to push some of this down into the lash line. So getting it in position and ready just to push down into that lash line in order to make my eyelashes look a bit more dramatic and a bit thicker. Don't go too mad. I think there's a tendency to think that the answer for a more glamorous look is just to pile lots of extra makeup on. Well, if you do that, you'll just look like you've got piles of extra makeup on. And this isn't, that's not what this is about at all. It's just about adding some really good colour and definition to your face to cope with evening light. And so that when you do go out for this special do, whatever that is, your makeup looks subtly enhanced. So it's like you've gone to a bit of extra trouble with your makeup to look, more glamorous, as I said, rather than looking like you've got a ton of really gloopy makeup on. Can you see the difference between this eye and this eye now that I've done that? And always have these little cotton buds ready just to make sure that you've got a nice finish with that. No migrating bit. I think that will do. The other eye. So keep the brush nice and flat and against your eye lashes, like this, along that lash line, pushing the brush down against your eyelashes, which have already got mascara on, which is unusual, of course. You usually do it before you put mascara on, because you're adding this in later. You've got the mascara almost to follow, and then underneath, working some of this charcoal shadow down into the. So again, I'm going to take this and just smooth that out a little bit because it doesn't look very smooth to me. But you can always, the great thing about using shadows to do this line, unlike gels or anything like that, that once once you put a gel liner on, you can't really make it move. It's stuck, and if you make a mess of it, the only thing you can do is take it off and start again. What's brilliant about using darker shadows for the lash line is that you can kind of smudge them in a bit and create effectively like a smoky eye, if you like. So it's a great way to do it. Again, I'm just going to wipe away anything that's underneath. I think that's probably okay. What you could do now, if you wanted to, you really should always curl your eyelashes before you put your mascara on, but I've already got mascara on from this morning. But I am going to curl my eyelashes because I can probably make them look better that way. So you can see what I've done there, trapping the mascara in. You have to clean your eye. You have to clean your eyelash curlers afterwards, but can you see how that's actually lifted my eyelashes quite nicely? I'll do this one. And I might not actually put another coat of mascara on. I think I'm very reluctant to do that because I actually think that will make my eyelashes look a bit spiky. So I think that's fine for the ramped up glamour eye makeup. And now I'm going to add a really lovely vibrant lipstick, which is our cherry red. And I'm going to do that because the outfit that I'm going to wear tonight is quite dark, and I want this to really bring my face to life. So I would normally put this on with a brush, but just to save time, I'm going to put it on from the bullet. You can see that this is now clashing with my cardigan that I'm wearing, because my cardigan's great bright pink, and this is actually quite a cherry red. So I'm going to take my cardigan off, and I'm also going to add some glitzy makeup. Jewellery, what am I talking about? I'm going to add some glitzy jewellery, and you'll hopefully see that I've changed the look that I had first off, from something fairly straightforward and daytime. I've got these lovely, zingy, pretty earrings that are going to catch the light and look suitably glamorous. And I've got a matching necklace that goes with it. Hopefully you can see that. And I think I'm good to go. So I hope you like that look. I hope that was useful. And do come and see us. All the products that I've used today on my face are at lookfabulousforever.com. And I'm Tricia Cusden saying bye-bye and thank you for watching.